All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another episode of FAPA Talk. Tim Genc, and I am here with Ben from CAE. How are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us.
my pleasure.
So, before we get started, tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do for CAE, and what got you into aviation.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty neat story that would also kind of tell you about the culture of our company. So I started at CAE over 25 years ago in our headquarter in Montreal. And my dad also worked for CAE for 41 years. So we could almost say it's a family affair. Um, And my dad was just a machinist in the machine shop out of our main office, working on the simulator, and really kind of started my career there and grew through the ranks. I have a finance background and accounting background, and grew over the career through the finance rank, and I relocated even three times for the company. So the company was very lucky to provide plenty of opportunities. So we're able to go in Dallas and move for the company. And about 5 years ago, I switched into the operational role. So I was able now to learn a little bit more about the core of our business of training pilot, and really learn from there. And here I am today.
Awesome. Fantastic. So from Texas to Canada at some point.
Correct, and even the other way around. So I moved mostly between Texas and Canada, but yeah, from the
Okay.
cold to the hot of Texas.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about CAE. For anyone tuning in who maybe has not heard of the company or doesn't know exactly what they do, give us the elevator pitch.
And
What does CAE do?
and in my role, right now I'm currently the head of operation for our business aviation training center for the Americas. So CAE is
Okay.
mainly, if you look about 25 years ago, CAE was mainly a manufacturer of simulators, and we had
Okay.
a much more of a manufacturing approach. But within the last 25 years, we really transitioned our organization to be more of a service business. Whereas today, we're mostly a service organization that trains pilot from all aspects of pilot training. So you have option to buy a simulator, to train within our commercial network, our business aviation, our helicopter network. Recently, over the pandemic, we acquired multiple organizations, some that provides us even service from an high-tech culture as an organization. So we're transitioning to provide more service to pilot, from logbook to roster managing, flight crew managing for our organization. And this is where the breadth and depth of the organization really give us a really all range of touch point with the pilot and the industry, to provide better tool and better training to serve the pilot in their journey at wherever they are, from cadet to captain. And even within our organization, we operate flight school. We have over 170 aircraft, live aircraft, that do flight training for cadet, and then we continue to bring through the rank. We have a placement agency that places pilot within the larger airline, or the airline that look for that type of service. And then we train pilot on the commercial side and on the business aviation side, where I'm more familiar with.
Well, it's really a little bit of everything. You guys kind of hit all different
Mhm.
corners of the pilot training side of the house. That's
Correct.
fantastic. Where? Go ahead.
No, and even at CAE, we have this mainly on the core for the pilot audience, and we also have a division on the defense side and on the healthcare side, where on the defense side we also train on multiple different aspects of on the military readiness, to make sure we are ready to go. And about 10 to 15 years ago, we launched into the healthcare world, applying the concept of training into the aviation to the healthcare industry.
Oh, wow. It's fantastic because, of course, we've got a couple pictures behind you, but the window behind you, there's just continuously airplanes taking off. It's like you planned it for a wonderful aviation backdrop.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm lucky. I'm at the DFW airport, and definitely a busy airport. So we definitely see a lot of the airport. If we're lucky, we'll see the 380. Maybe we go by, but that's very interesting. So
I'll bet. Yeah, fantastic office view. So here's probably a question. I'm not sure how well you could answer it without saying a whole lot. But for which aircraft do you provide training? It sounds like the answer is yes. If it's an airplane, we could probably train in it.
Pretty much in all aspect of training. So we provide here mainly on the business aviation side. So we train pretty much every of the larger OEM on private jet, from Gulfstream, Bombardier, Dassault, Embraer, Textron, and another and much more from all the different generation of aircraft. So we continue to build some in production or out of production training. If you look here in the building in Dallas, we have 36 simulator, which is one of the largest in the world. And pretty much all simulator are different. They all have a different type rating, so we're able to really service the industry, which a very broad array of opportunity from training, whether it's your initial need, your recurrent need, we'll be able to support whether you're a Part 91 and you want to train under our curriculum, or you're a Part 135 organization that where we're going to train under your organization training footprint. We also train a lot on the commercial side, and this is where, depending on the airliner, we provide them either a full service where recently, earlier this year, we win the contract to train all the Qantas pilots. So we're training in many different aspects, many different organization, and we partner with a lot of the airline to make sure we support them.
So I know you mentioned that you're in Dallas right now and you've got 36 simulators right there. You've spent some time in Montreal. How many other bases do you guys have throughout the country and world?
Yeah, CAE is established in over 70 countries around the world with different location and training possibility from a commercial to a business aviation side. We train over 135,000 pilots per year, and our equipment, we have over 300 simulator in operation within our network that we operate every day. And we utilize these simulators for over 1.2 million hours per year. So, which is quite quite an impressive feat to be able to keep that equipment running for that period, that duration, and keep the pilots flying. So it's definitely a one CAE approach mindset to make all this come together.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. All of that simulator, everything that has to happen. If somebody was an instructor for you guys, would they have to go ahead and be based where that office is? Or where are your instructors based?
Preferably, but we have always scenarios where we have instructor that can commute, but we also have some. We provide. It's always better because it's a key offering for our instructor. We want our instructor to be based where they are. So what we say is, you're at home for the moment that matters, or you're able to sleep in your own bed every night. And I think that's one part of our big offering that we provide to the pilot to help on the quality of life. And we also have some partnership with some business aviation operator that allows us to have a job share agreement, so our instructor can go fly. So at least it provides them the opportunity to have the better of both worlds: stay at home for most of the year, but also get the opportunity to go fly with some operators. So and for us, it's important. I think it keeps our instructor engaged, and it keeps our instructor also on the live of the day to day, so they always stay current to where the industry is going.
You kind of segued into one of the next questions that I wanted to ask. You're talking about the quality of life, the home every night. That's obviously something that is not common, not very usual in the aviation world, professional aviation world. Well, outside of that, why would a candidate choose to go ahead and work with CAE as opposed to going, the airline or the charter route? Again, besides that pretty amazing quality of life benefit.
Yeah, and I think the quality of life is definitely a big component of what we offer. I think we also try to remain very competitive with the industry and look at our compensation and our benefit to make sure that we offer comparable to the flying opportunity. We also provide a lot of opportunity for our pilot. We have growth opportunity, whether it's you want to be an instructor or you want to be somebody in a regulatory landscape or on a records perspective. So we have many different opportunities that are available that provides more breadth and depth to what the career of a pilot wants to do. You can start as an instructor, grow either within the leadership rank, or you want to grow towards more of a regulatory or a technical rank. So we definitely have a lot of opportunity, whether this is within the US market or all around the world. You could go into different authority, different regulation, or even change towards a commercial background from the business aviation background. So having access to that network of opportunity, I think provide a pretty good opportunity for the pilot to flourish within their career and make sure that they can really challenge themselves on the day-to-day as we do every day. We train multiple pilots on multiple aircraft on multiple authorities. So definitely raise the bar on the volume of flexibility that we have to be as an organization.
So a pilot that spent a bunch of time flying for one of the major airlines, very, very knowledgeable with that particular airframe. And of course, they hit that magic mandatory age of retirement.
Mhm.
So that pilot that's 66, 67 years old, is being an instructor for CAE an option for that pilot?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely a key aspect of our business. We can keep the pilot. I think the pilot who has the passion. I think it's always an interesting switch also to migrate from a pilot to become an instructor. However, we have a
Mhm.
great team here to help them make that transition and give them the right tools and the right support. But it definitely remains an option. You want to stay close to aviation. You want to stay transfer your passion to the next generation. I think this provides a great opportunity. Great opportunity also what we hear for younger pilot wants to grow a family. They want to stay in one base. They want to stay at home to see their kids grow. I think it provides that other capability. And as well for pilot who might have medical challenges or that feel that are not allowed because they lost their medical, uh, the training could also be an option as to become an instructor. So I think that the career doesn't end there, and I think that's what we're trying to push and see where we can recruit to also differentiate ourselves and address the high need that the market sees right now of training pilot, as many of the report, and I think CAE has published their own report that shows the very large lack of pilot or the very high demand we'll have over the next many years. And so there's definitely going to remain a high demand.
So the 65 and plus pilot, maybe change to 67. The pilot that's reached the mandatory age of retirement, that pilot can go ahead and instruct for you. The pilot that has lost or relinquished their medical for whatever reason, that pilot can instruct for you.
Correct.
Oh, fantastic. I was talking to a couple pilots the other day doing interview prep for them. They had retired, this particular individual retired from American Airlines in August. And by
Mhm.
September, he was done with retirement because he,
Yeah.
he, he missed aviation. And being able to go ahead and enjoy that with stay home every night is a pretty fantastic perk for them. Again, mandatory
Yeah.
retirement, medical independent. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and we're continuing to grow our footprint. So uh, we're operating in much more different city. We just opened a new training center, I think about a year ago in Las Vegas. We're opening one early next year in Savannah in Georgia. We have a facility in Orlando, New Jersey, Montreal, Dallas, and many more different locations for the pilot. So we're always able to put the pilot wherever they're more based. If they want to be more in towards an area, we can make it work as we have pretty much a coast to coast footprint right now.
That's fantastic. Very convenient. No matter where they want to be, you guys can probably take care of them.
Absolutely.
So, if when should somebody apply? Again, a pilot knows that they're reaching that mandatory age of retirement, or a pilot, they're getting ready to leave a certain job. Maybe this pilot is getting out of the military and is looking to do something staying at home, non-medical specific. When should that pilot reach out to you guys to go ahead and start the application or recruiting process?
Yeah, I believe through the text of the podcast, there'll be some of our website. I think our website is our main place under ce.com/careers is where you find pretty much all our openings around the world. There's always some challenges if you're US based and you want to apply a job in UK, then there's some visa requirement and we have to take that in consideration. But if you're allowed to work within the country, then we're definitely able to provide you the option from the website. And also from the website, it's always there's always opportunity. So there's not a timing where things comes. I think we like many other airlines or operators, we have some attrition, even though we try to
Mhm.
keep it as low as possible. There's always some position that comes open. As we've been growing right now, we have much of the position we have open is to continue our growth and to fulfill the market demand.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for all that information. Appreciate it. Just wanted to ask two more kind of just happy fun questions, if you will. Um, the craziest or most memorable interview story that you have got.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And unfortunately, recently, I haven't been able to do much of the interview for the pilot, but I always love to hear the story from my teams, or you definitely see many different candidates. And I think that's what the make what's so great about CAE. We have a very diversified group, and I think it provides also a very great experience for the pilot and a much more interesting work environment. And I think we welcome this to challenge everybody and everyone into our day to day, and it provides a good experience for the pilot. But I don't have a specific case of nothing really flamboyant really happened to me through the interview so far.
Gotcha. Yeah, the more you do it, it will. There's always kind of again, whether it's memorable in a good way, memorable in a bad way. We've all got those fun stories. Last question I have for you. You're involved in aviation. Aviation is obviously in your blood. It's your passion. If you had to pick one, what is your favorite aircraft? It doesn't have to be one that you've ever flown. Doesn't even have to be a real aircraft. It can be fantasy. But what is your favorite aircraft?
Yeah, and there's many choice out there that are incredible and great aircraft from what you see from all the years to even the high performance that it gives today. But what I would think, or what I was always kind of interested towards, I would say some of the latest gliders are quite interesting, and also
Hmm.
provides a kind of a pure in the purest form of flying. So really relies on the skill set of the pilot to fly the aircraft, which in the end, when things happen in the aircraft up there and the technology that comes in the aircraft, always remain to rely on your training and your flying skill.
It's an excellent point. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time. Enjoyed getting a chance to hear a little bit about you, your particular journey in aviation, and hearing a lot about CAE, the type of individual that could go ahead and make CAE their home. We'll go ahead and have some notes below the podcast for anyone who's interested to reach out, contact, check out the website. Anything else you want to add before we go ahead and sign off, sir?
No, I just want to thank you, Tim. I think we've been participating this year a lot into the FAPA event, and I think we welcome the opportunity and want to reach out to as many pilots as we can. And please come see us so we can continue to educate and provide option. And please join us in continuing to train the best and the next generation of pilot.
Awesome. Sounds fantastic. Ben, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.